Kris Hickson, our 2015 Power Pole BREAM Boater Angler of the Year. You finally put another trophy on the mantelpiece. Congratulations.
Cheers, mate.
You have had a what's probably best described as a sensational run of form the last 2 years. Grand final last year, now Angler of the Year. You've won Angler of the Year trophies in the past. How does this one compare to your previous wins?
I think most of the years that I've been doing the BREAM comps, I've been up in the top few in the Angler of the Year. And the only one I've won was one of the New South Wales ones, was when it was each state got their own Angler of the Year trophy. So to get one now as a national trophy is a lot more meaningful to me, because it's against everyone in the whole country, not just our state.
Now, Angler of the Year, it's for some people it's probably a more prestigious thing to win than the grand final, because it's a measure of consistency over the year, and it always comes down to that last event. How did you feel going to that last event of the Hawkesbury about winning that Angler of the Year title? Mark Crompton had a lightning start to the season with 2 from 2, yet you ran him down at the Hawkesbury. How did you feel going to that last event? Did you think you had a shot?
It was a pretty tight Angler of the Year this year as well. There was Cromo was in good form, Ross Cannizzaro was close, but I think he was just out of it. Steve Gill was in there as well, and myself, and it was a tight race. Like, it was just another comp to me. I'd put that stuff out of my head. I'd just go fishing, and if I do well, then great, I'll do well. And to gain a few extra points in that one and seal it was awesome. I think I only pipped Ross out by a couple of points in the end.
But you don't miss anything. You'd done the calculations to work out what Cromo needed to do and what you needed to do.
Oh yeah, we'd all sat down and had a look at it. We knew where it was at. We knew who could not make it. And as you said, it's an accumulation of the whole year. It's your consistency, and being consistent is what I try and be every time I'm on the water.
When you have a perfect year and win titles such as AOY and grand finals, it's never a year that's perfect all the way through. There's always hiccups. Did you have any highlights throughout this year?
Gippsland was probably a hiccup. I got one fish the first day. I think I donated the second day. I do tend to fish all right in Gippsland lakes, but I took a gamble in this tournament and fished in places I hadn't fished before, and it didn't pay off. I kind of knew where the fish were going to be, I just couldn't catch them. So that was a learning curve as well. I got to see some new water and have some spots there for the next time if the fish are there. So
what do you do when you have a flat spot like that? You know, you try something that doesn't quite work out. What do you do? How do you regroup?
A few years ago, it probably would have affected me a lot more. These days, I just put it out of my head. It's another comp, it's another day's fishing. You have those bad ones. So this year, I turned it around and won Malakuta, which was good. That put it out of my head pretty quick, a couple of days later.
That's a good lead in. What was your highlight? Was it Malakuta?
Yeah, it probably would be, because it was a fairly tough comp. Malakuta was pretty ordinary weather. The fish were scattered. They weren't really set on any one sort of pattern. Everyone was catching them a bit everywhere. And I nutted out one thing that sort of stood out from the rest and caught the fish. The other side of it for me at Malakuta, I didn't lose a lot of fish this year. A lot of times I'll have tournaments, I have no dramas finding them, but I tend to lose a lot of fish. I don't know if that's the way I fish or what I do, but in that tournament I don't think I pulled the hooks or got busted off by one fish, and they're the ones you win.
When I analyse you guys, tournament anglers, I always look at your technical element to who you are as an angler, and also the mental side. Technically, you've always been very good, but perhaps in the early years, mentally, you probably weren't where you needed to be consistently successful. That's something you seem to have acquired in the last couple of years. Why do you think that is?
I don't know whether it's an age thing or what it is. I think I'd take it a bit less seriously than I used to. I go out to have a bit more fun and don't let things get to me as much. It's just time. You just got to realise that you have good days and you have bad days. If you're having a good day, you're going to do well. If you have a bad day, you don't do so well. Today was a prime example. First day of the grand final, had plenty of chances, but I got tangles all over my rods. I had stuff going everywhere, and it was chaos on the boat for quite a few times. But put it out of your head, keep fishing, and hopefully you get the big bite to stick.
You are probably what I best describe as unflappable. We have you on AFC quite often, even when you're not competing. You're there lending assistance. You're very much our Mr. Fix-It. So when it goes down and it goes pear-shaped, you manage to keep it together, and I think that is a very important attribute that a lot of people could learn from. Anybody you'd like to thank for your successful years, especially the last 2 years and this Angler of the Year title?
Yeah, everyone that's helped me out over the years. My main sponsors, TT's, TT Lures, Z-Man, Hobie Fishing, they've come on board the last couple of years with us in the bets and the ABT series. Daiwa, of course. Mercury came on board this year as well. We put a brand new Verado on the boat, and that's been a great engine for us. It's been faultless so far. Griffin Marine, old man, pays for a fair bit of stuff for us, and I get to take heaps of gear away to comps and have lots of spares from the shelf. Em, my partner, she makes all these cool hats for me that blow off pretty much every comp, so that's handy having them to be replaced fairly often as well. And Minn Kota and Hummingbird as well, they the Onyxes on the boat, I think, have probably helped me in the last 12 months catch more fish, because I'm confident of what's there. Back in the days where we didn't really know what was on the boat, or what was on the sounder, it was a bit of guesswork. Now if I see them on there, I know that I can catch them. Like if there's a fish on there, there's a fish in the area. If I'm not seeing them, they're not there, basically. So all those guys put together just make my life a lot easier.
Now, looking forward, we've released locked-in dates for 2016 for the BREAM Tour. We're taking it back to a national stage. You've been to Tassie in the past. I'm sure you have aspirations to go over to the West Coast and try the events in WA. Have you cherry-picked out of our calendar next year which events you're going to do?
I think West Oz is probably the only one that I won't get to. I'm trying to do a lot of the Bass Circuit as well next year. I did it this year, loved it. It was great fun. Totally different to the bream fishing side of it, but being a bit bigger calendar for the bream, it's going to make it sort of a bit hard. At least they're not going to clash, which is one thing, but I'll definitely get down to Tassie unless something really important that I don't know about comes up. I'm going to be there, and if we do some double headers, then that's going to be even better because we get to do week trips at a time. So having a bigger calendar for me is good. It's the more fishing we can do in these comps, the better.
You have pretty much ticked every box there is in terms of achievements in ABT tournaments. You started yet in the Bass and you're doing incredibly well, second to the Bass Grand Final. Looking forward, what are the goals for Kris Hickson?
Just keep doing what I'm doing. I think I'm in a pretty good place at the moment. I'm catching fish most of the time. I'm getting some good results, and if I can I stay up there, I think that's the biggest achievement. It's one thing to get to the top and get some grand final win or whatever it is. It's another thing to stay there for a while. So I think, yeah, just keep being consistent and keep doing well.
Well, mate, you have consistency locked down to a T at the moment. Congratulations, all the best in 2016.
Cheers, mate.